Hi everyone, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful project using our Dancing Daisy cut and embossed folder along with some of our beautiful Summer Meadow paper pad and our sentiment border stamp and die set. So we're going to get started by making a beautiful Decagon shaped card blank. So to do that, I've taken our basic Decagon dies, and these go up to 8 by 8 in size. So to create my card blank, I've actually taken the second one in, okay? So not the largest, the next one down. And I'm going to take my 8 by 8 card blank that I've got here. Just going to pop the fold to the top. And I want to make sure that I've got a nice flat edge on the bottom of the card so that it stands up. And we're going to just tape this down into place so that we can create our own little card blank. So just with a little bit of low tack tape, just going to make sure that I've got that pretty straight at the top and the bottom, which it is. And then a little bit of tape either side. We're going to take our Gemini machine, so I'm using my base plate, my plastic shim and my clear cutting plate on the top, and we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. So you're just allowing those plates to pass through the die cutting machine. Our dies are engineered to cut through 2 sheets of 300 GSM card as well, so you know that this is going to cut your card blank absolutely perfectly. So when we lift that away, you can see how we've got our card blank with the fold at the top. Now the only thing with this is, obviously because we've had to take a chunk off the top to get the fold in, what I like to do is take that same shape and die cut it again just from a piece of plain white card or whatever colour card blank you're using. So I'm going to pop that down onto there and then run that through my machine again. And then we're going to stick this onto the front. And that is then going to create a perfect card blank for us to start and work on. So we're just allowing that to run through. And then we're going to lift that off. And you can see how we've got that lovely Decagon shape. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of Collal all-purpose glue and just stick this onto the front of my card blank. Like so. So that's going to go onto there. And you can see that's created a beautiful Decagon shaped card, but you've got that extra little piece at the top, just keeping it all nice and balanced. So what we're going to do next is take a piece of beautiful patterned paper, and this is from the Summer Meadows paper pad, I do believe. And I'm going to take the next size die down. I'm going to pop that down and tape it into place. And this is why our nesting dies are so awesome, because they are all designed with the basic ones all have a 1/4 inch increment between them. They are amazing for doing all your mats and layers, and honestly it takes so much of the work and the effort out of your card making just by using the dies to do your mats and layers. So for the next layer I'm actually going to, oops, they're jumping off the magnetic sheet at me here. I'm going to miss one and take the next one down, and we're going to cut that out of another piece of pattern paper as well. So I've explained in one of my other videos, actually, I always find it really hard when I'm writing the instructions for my projects, because it's always really difficult to kind of describe which of the dies that I'm using. So I thought if I get the actual die sheet out and kind of show you, that might help, because I just tend to do it by eye, to be honest, and just kind of work my way down the layers. So we're going to die cut this one out as well. So we're just running that through the die cutting machine. And then when we lift this away, you'll see how we've got this lovely shape ready to pop onto there, like so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, should we do the next layer? Yes, we'll build the next layer up with the the little border. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the next size down, which is this one. So if I show you on the card blank, this is going to cut the outer edge of that white frame. Okay, then we're going to take another layer, but I'm going to miss probably about 2 or 3. I think about 2. No, maybe 3. And that's then going to cut, oh, 1 more, 4 even. Oh my word, I'm confusing myself here. So I've missed 4 out in the middle, and that's then going to cut our inner frame. In fact, it's even 1 more. So wait a minute, let me have a little look. It's going to be this one. It's going to die cut. Let me have a little look here. That's going to cut that aperture in the middle there. So if I straighten this all up on my sheet, roughly, there we go. You can see how we've taken this outer edge here, we've missed 4 pieces and then taken another die out of the middle here. And that's then going to create a frame on our project. So we're going to die cut that out with some white card. So to do that, I've got a piece of white card here. And we're going to position the first piece down. I'm going to pop the frame in the middle. Now, I always find frames challenging to line up, I have to say. So I always like to make sure that I have a good little look round before I tape down. Do the same with this piece. Tape that down. And then we're going to take our die cutting machine and run this through. Going to flip this over, and then we're going to take our cutting plate on the top, and we're just going to run that through our die cutting machine. Like so. And then you can see how we've created this lovely frame to go around the edge of our card. Like so. Okay. So we've got another piece to go in the middle as well. And this is going to sit in the centre. We're going to pop that through the cut and emboss folder. And we're going to create a little very, very fine frame out of some of that gorgeous kind of orangey coloured paper. What I'm going to do is take the 2 dies out of the centre. I'm going to create a very, very fine frame. So the same technique as before, popping them down, lining them up, having a little look, eyeballing them, making sure that you're happy with them. Which I think I am. A little bit of tape there, a little bit of tape there, and then run that through our die cutting machine again. Like so. Creates that really fine frame. I'm going to keep those beautiful bits of paper as well because we're going to use those in a moment. So what we're going to do next is we want our scrap paper or card in, and we're going to do a little bit of edging with our glitters. So I'm going to pop those 2 to one side while we edge these. So I'm going to use my chisel tip glue pen, and I want my Crystallina glitter. And Crystallina is like that gorgeous universal colour that's just going to go with everything. So all we're going to do is take our chisel tip glue pen and just drag it on the edge of the card. like so. That's that little frame done. We're going to do exactly the same with the next one here. So all I'm going to do is work my way around. I think that's all done there now. Okay, and you can see how that works perfectly. Where you've got any excess glitter, it's normally where your not your double-sided tape, sorry, your low tack tape's been, and it can just cling. So you can always just take a little paintbrush or like a makeup brush and just dust that away. So again, just working our way along the edge of the frame. We'll do exactly the same on the inner edge as well. Now this one's a little bit more tricky, but just take your time, keep holding the pen at the angle. And you want to kind of, when you push the pen away from you, she says, and goes right off track, but that's fine because I can show you how to fix it then. So that was a good mistake to make, wasn't it? There we go. Right, so I'm going to take a little bit of my card and obviously sprinkle my glitter over like so. So I can dunk in as well, which works really nicely. Okay, so you can see where my tape was there, where that's stuck. So I can just take a brush, give it a little dust over. Now you can see where I went right off track there. So all I'm going to do is take a little piece of card, straight edge, and push it back in line. That's literally all you have to do. It's so easy. Okay, while I've got this piece on my table as well, I'm going to take my little frame. I'm actually just going to use my chisel tip glue pen to stick this into place. It's a really nice high tack adhesion. So for fine bits of paper and things, I do tend to use this. Even like if you cut your sentiments out of paper and things like that, it's really good. It's a really nice sticky glue. Right, it's that sticky it's stuck to my finger. So we're going to just hover down and pop our little frame in place. I always find paper's that little bit more tricky to work with compared to card because it's that bit more flexible, which is fine, that has its uses. But when you try to stick things down straight, I do tend to find it a little bit harder. That's fine. That's nicely stuck down there now. Okay, so we're going to get all this nicely matted and layered up now onto our base card. So we're going to grab our card blanket. I'm making sure that my fold's at the top. Then I'm going to take my first piece of patterned paper. I'm going to add a little bit of glue just onto the back. And then I'm going to stick that down. Like so, and our base card. And the next layer I'm going to do with some foam pads. As I just chuck everything else on the floor in my room there. Going to go down onto my base card like so there, and then I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to cut my foam pads in about half, I think, but we're going to do a little double layer. just to give that extra little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to use my scissors just to chop these down. Just going to work our way around the frame, popping the foam pads into position, so then you can see how perfectly this is then going to work. It's going to go into there, and we are almost all the way around, just like that. And then I'm going to take the backs off of these, so just whip them away. Foam pad there as well. I'm going to just take the backs off these. And that's going to go on our base card like so. So got that fabulous double layer giving you all that extra dimension. So what we're going to do now is take our cut and emboss folder, and we're going to place this little piece of waste white card into the folder design here. Now have a little look and get it so it's like nicely kind of lined up in the folder. You can even tape into the folder as well if you want to. So like I might just put a little bit of low tack tape. I'm making sure that I stick it on the back though, that's the only thing. Okay, and then I'm going to take my 2 clear plates and run this through my Gemini. So this is the Dancing Daisy Cut and Emboss folder. So we're just going to run that through. You can just hear the machine working there. And then once we take that away and lift this out of the folder, you will see how we've got all that gorgeous emboss detail just onto the background here. Okay, like so, which is absolutely stunning. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in with a little bit of glue and just add a little bit of sparkle like onto the leaves. So I'm going to lift the leaves up to start with, because our cut and emboss folders are like 3D designs. So you can lift all of these little leaves and things up and lift all the petals on the flowers as well. And it just looks fab. So let me grab a paper towel. Just push these through. So you can see how we're just adding all of that extra dimension onto here by just working through, pushing these petals through. It's just going to work so well. Okay, so pop that against there. You can see instantly the lift and the dimension that you've got on there. So what I'm going to do next is take my Grasshopper glitter, which is a lovely vibrant green, and I'm going to go in with my glue with the fine tip applicator and just infill all of the little leaves on here. So I'm just going infilling, and if I just bring the finished sample in, you can see how I've done some of the little leaves in the background as well. So all I've done is just gone in and infilled the little leaves in the background too, and by using this glue with the fine tip, it just works so well, because it kind of makes it so much easier because the tip's so fine on the glue. So you can just highlight this embossing. Like so. I do love these cut and emboss folders. I just think the designs are absolutely gorgeous. Such pretty artwork on these. Right, so that's that bit done. Sprinkle over the grasshopper glitter, tap away the excess, and you can see how instantly that's just highlighted the background there. You can see where I had a little bit of stuff off my tape. So what I would do is just wait for my glitter obviously to dry and then just rub that off. So I'm going to go in and do exactly the same on the bottom half of the design. Okay, so then you can see how I've just added that detail into the background. Okay, just get rid of that excess glitter there. And what we're going to do is stick this inside the card like so. So I'm going to stick it in flat. Bit of glue just on the back. It's going to get stuck in. Just could do with something just to give it a little press, just to press it in and press it down. Again, you can wait for your glue to totally dry before you go in and dust properly like that. So what we're going to do next is create some of the little flowers for the background. So to do that, I'm using some of the dies. So these are from the Daisy Elements. And again, I'm not actually stamping them. I just wanted to show you how beautiful these images are in their own right. So I'm going to use some of my scraps. Let me just grab the other Daisy die. Just give me 2 seconds. I've popped it down somewhere. It's in that safe place. There it is on the side. Okay, so I'm going to die cut out about 6 of these larger daisies. Now to do this, I'm actually going to grab in one of my other die cutting machines because it's a manual one and it's just a little bit quicker. So to do this, I'm just going to use my big shot. So let me just move the little dies out of the way, pop the machine in place. So we're just going to die cut these out, dead easy. Quickly run them through. So that's the first one. So I'm going to do about 3 of these larger ones, and then I'm going to do the smaller ones as well. So just run this through the machine. Like so. Okay, I should have done this before I did the video, really, if I'd thought about the die cutting on this one. Sorry, everyone. That's the first one. I'm sure you'll be able to hear my table is very much rocking at the moment. this little one. I just thought this was such a pretty card to be able to demonstrate and show you though, because it's so easy to create as well. It's not a difficult project. It's really nice and quick and easy and straightforward. It would make like a lovely little thank you card as well, or if you did it all in vellum, it would be a lovely like a wedding card or something like that as well. Right, another couple of these, and then we just need to do the smaller ones. And to do the smaller ones, I'm actually going to use a different paper out of that Summer Meadows paper pad. I'm going to use a slightly lighter colour. So we're just going to keep going, running it through. You can see how we've created all of those gorgeous little flowers, and then we're going to do exactly the same with these smaller ones. So we're going to want, I think, about 4 of each of these, I think. So I'm just picking a paper. I want like a slightly lighter. Yeah, I think this one's a bit of a lighter yellow. So it's still that lovely kind of watercolour wash effect, but it's a slightly paler colour. So we'll use that for this one. So we'll just quickly run these through. That's the first one. And these little flowers are gorgeous as well, just for little embellishments on your projects, to be honest. But really nice for that too. Use a little bit of low tack tape just to hold these last two in place, and we'll quickly run these through like so. Get rid of that machine. Okay, so we've got all of our little flowers now die cut out and ready to go. This one out, so low tack tape holding that in place. So what we're going to do is take 3 of these little daisies and glue them together. So what I'm going to do is leave one flat, and then on the other 2 I'm just going to twizzle the petals stuck onto there, and then when I'm sticking these down I'm just twisting and offsetting them ever so slightly. So that's that one. Same with the next one, and just stick this down on the top like so. Okay, have I got a spare one? I think I've die cut an extra one there. Oh well, that was a nice surprise. So again with this one, I'm going to leave the base one flat. The top one, I'm just going to pinch the petals just to give them a little bit of shape. And I'm going to stick that down on the top. That all layered up nicely. So again, just pinching the petals, little blob of glue in the middle. I'm going to stick that down under there. Okay, and then we're going to take our base card in and we're going to just start to build up the layers. So I'm going to put a blob of PVA glue in the middle of each of those. I'm going to stick that down there. Stick that one down there. And what I like to do is once it's dried, like fluff the flowers up a little bit, like just play with the petals a little bit and make them a bit fluffier. I'm just going to get stuck down there. A little one there. So you can see how by paper piecing, and that's literally all we're doing, just sticking flowers on in a different colour. You can see how pretty this then looks. So what we're then going to do is take some of the lovely pearls from our Bling box. So I'm going to use these gorgeous AB white ones. So I'm going to stick a big one in the middle of these big daisies, but then I'm going to cover it with a little bit of lemon glitter. So we'll stick those down there. I'm going to pop a little one in the middle of each of these. So just sticking those down into place. Ordinarily I would prefer if we were able to like allow that glue to dry a little bit, but obviously for the purposes of demonstration today, I'm not really able to do that. So I'm going to go into there, and then we're going to take some smaller pearls and just dot these in the middle of the smaller flowers. Okay, so they're nicely in place now. So I'm now going to take a little bit of our gorgeous lemon drop glitter, which is one of the new Sparkelicious colours that you'll find on the website, chloescreativecards.co.uk. All I'm trying to do is just cover. See, this is why ideally you need to allow your glue a little bit of time to dry. Cover your pearls with a little bit of glue and just add some little dots onto the daisies as well, like the larger daisies. Then we're going to take our scrap paper in. I'm going to sprinkle that over the middle. Like so. That's going to go straight back into the jar. And then we're going to stamp and emboss our sentiment. So I'm going to use the sentiment borders set, and I'm going to take Happy Birthday, which is one of the wavy ones. So I'm going to take this and pop it onto my acrylic block. I'm going to take my little anti-static bag and give that a good dust over. I'm going to ink up my Happy Birthday with a clear embossing ink pad and place that down onto the card and press. Okay, and then we're going to take, this is Spiced Honey Sparkle. Oh, what a nice name. In the Wow glitter, Wow embossing glitters. Again, we have all these on the website. Pop that back into the jar. We're going to heat this up. So just using the heat gun, we're going to hold the heat gun still, and then as soon as that embossing powder starts to melt and change, we're just going to move the heat gun over the image. And then we're going to take our die, just going to give that embossing powder just a couple of seconds to cool down, just because I don't want it to kind of smudge when I pop my die over, I'm going to place my die over the top and tape this into place, just with a little bit of low tack tape. And then I'm going to use my die cutting machine. I would like my magnetic shim to pop in there. And then we're going to run this through. Just pop that into the Gemini there. It did have a little ball, there it is, ready to stick on. So then we're going to take that away. We're going to just push that out of the card there. Give it a little wiggle, just to give it a little bit of shape and dimension. And then we're just going to take a little bit of glue gel, just onto the back there. It's going to go onto there. We've got a little bow, a little bit of glue gel just onto the back of there. And then instead of using the pearl bling box, I'm going to use the Chloe's favourites, the actual bling box, if that makes sense. I'm going to take one of the little AB stones, just pop that into the middle of my bow, and that would then be my finished card. So I really hope that you've enjoyed crafting along with me with this project. Full details of how to make this card are on the blog at chloescreativecards.co.uk. There is also a free PDF instruction download sheet as well, with full step-by-step instructions and a materials list of exactly what I used to create this gorgeous card. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube or give us a like on Facebook, and I really hope to see you again soon. Bye!